David Goggin's story is one of those stories that stick with you for the rest of your life. Imagine a young kid going through the worst: poverty, prejudice, and abuse from his father. But then he decides that it will not be his whole story. Today I'm going to share with you Goggin's story and 5 of his top rules that changed his life. So let's begin. From a very rough childhood to becoming a Navy SEAL, Goggin's story is incredible. He ran a few 100 miles runs, even 250 miles runs. He broke the most pull-ups in 24 hours record, doing 4,000 pull-ups. And it's not just about being physically strong, it's his mental strength that's truly inspiring. Goggins lives by the no excuses policy, and he is out there right now spreading the message. He never stops. So let's dive into each part of his life and share the most important thing that we can learn from it. But before we start, let's hear a message from Goggins. By the way, the video contains strong language because it's Goggins. So let's get it started.
People love putting a label on me about, my God, man, you're just wired different. I'm not fucking wired different, dude. I'm thinking right now, after I got past my stuttering thing, now I'm on a roll, I'm good now. You know what I'm thinking about right now? I gotta fucking wake up tomorrow and do the same shit again. I gotta leave this fucking interview and go stretch out for 2.5 hours. I hate that shit.
Goggins had it rough from the start, dealing with an abusive father, being bullied and called names for his skin color, working nights at his father's bar, and not waking up to go to school. When he grew up, he became overweight. He weighed almost 300 pounds, and he worked in whatever he could find. One day he understood that in order to get out of the situation, he has to face his past. He calls it the accountability mirror. Every day he is right there, looking at himself, getting real with himself. No sugarcoating and no excuses, just straight up honesty. He is looking at his flaws and things that happened in his past, figuring out ways to deal with those. Benjamin Hardy wrote in his book, Personality Isn't Permanent. We reinterpret our past according to our present. Our present affects our past more than our past affects the present. So for example, imagine you go out of a test that you barely studied to. You just passed. You're happy and you feel good about that. 2 days later, you figure out that everybody around you got a very high score and you got the lowest grade. Now your past feelings are changed. Now you feel bitter and you feel sad for not doing better. So effectively, your knowledge in the present changed your feelings about the past. So that's what Goggins talks about in this rule.
And I totally agree with you that we need to go back, but we don't know how.
Right.
Now you start talking about in the book some ways in which we can start. How?
Right.
Can you tell us about some of those?
So one big thing is the accountability mirror. As you're growing up, we all have a backpack. Most of ours, hopefully, is empty, and what we put in it is all the crap we go through in life. So what you have to start doing is realizing that no matter where you're at in life, I got called nigger a lot. My dad abused me, learning disability, stutters, immaturity, insecurities, self-doubt, so much crap on top of me. So much stuff was in my backpack. No one's coming back to help me. So it starts with that person in that mirror. You have to realize you are on your own now. On earth, it's a very lonely journey. And it starts with the accountability mirror of looking at saying, hey, my dad who beat the hell out of me is not coming back. All these things are coming back. I have to face myself. And you have to own all those things that people may have done to you. Now it's yours. You got to own it. And it's yours now to fix the problems that people did to you. It makes no sense. It's not fair. I get it.
So rule number 1, the accountability mirror. Rule number 2, toughen your skin. When Goggin talks about toughening your skin, he's not just throwing around some cool phrases. He lives it right from his childhood. He's the kid who's been bullied and called names for his skin color, dealing with prejudice left and right, and living in a neighborhood where the KKK were marching. People sprayed things on his house door and threatened to kill him. But here's the incredible part about it. He takes all the pain from the past and he does not let it put him down. He uses it to build his mental armor. Every insult, every challenge, every hard thing that happened to him, he's turning into steps to climb higher.
Like, how long are you going to shelter your child from a world that's evil as shit? That's going to come at you. It's going to come at you whether you've been bullied or not. And so we are training kids and people to be soft in a world that continuously gets harder. And it doesn't correlate. I'm not trying to send a message of run 200 miles, be the baddest motherfucker in the world, but be tough. You better have a part about you that's tough.
So rule number 2 is toughen your skin. Rule number 3, taking souls. A moment before we move on, did you know that less than 10% of you that are watching right now are subscribed to the channel? It's like being in Goggins' world. There's so much to see, but you're only 10% into it. So if you're getting value from this, or you're inspired, or you just like the content, please subscribe to the channel. And while you're there, the like button is very close by, so Press that one as well. Alright, so let's talk about something that David Goggins calls taking souls. Now this might sound a bit scary, but this one was a game changer for him. Goggins has been through Hell Week 3 times in 1 year. Something that no man has ever done before. Hell Week is basically the worst week in the Navy SEALs training. It's 130 hours of continuous physical and mental torture. Arguably the hardest week that you can go through in any training program. And he's done that 3 times, where in one of them he broke his legs, but he kept on doing it. So here's the deal with taking souls. Imagine you're in the middle of an insane workout or a brutal challenge. Everyone around you feels it tense, and everyone is struggling, including you. That's when this rule comes in play. So instead of struggling and just going through it, you push harder. You flip the script. Taking souls is about dominating your inner doubts and fears. It's like sending a message to everyone around you that I'm not here to survive, I'm here to own it.
The guys going through Hell Week, they're up all day and all night for 130 hours. And you have the instructors who you know, they've been there, done that. Now they're instructing you. So they do their 8-hour shift. They have their parkas on. It's usually cold, coffee, drinking their coffee, and they're beating the crap out of us. And when I started realizing, I started playing mind games. And I was like, you know what? I bet these fuckers are looking at us, judging themselves about when they were going through Hell Week. About, let me see, I'm looking at Goggins right now. I was better than him. I was like, okay, you're going to judge me, right? So what I started doing was I got my boat crew 2. So it's Wednesday, and everybody's broken. Everybody's beat up, man. And like this is when you start moving like a robot. They tell you how you're supposed to feel. This is hour 1. So I was getting my boat crew all jacked up. I said, we're going to take these motherfuckers' souls. So when they had us doing this simple thing that guys are struggling with, boat crew 2 was just launching the fucking boat in there, yelling, yeah, you can't fucking hurt us. Can't hurt boat crew 2. And I looked on the instructors' faces and it looked like someone had just fucked with their soul. We own space in their fucking head. We own space. They're going to think about us tonight. We start fueling off the fact that, man, it takes 1 second of energy to steal everybody's. And then you have all the energy you need.
So rule number 3, taking souls. Rule number 4, the cookie jar. Imagine that Goggins is at his 100-mile race. Mile 70, he decides to sit down and take a short break. Once he did that, his body was starting to give up. He couldn't control his doubts and he started peeing blood. His body was shutting down. And that's when he reached his mental cookie jar. This isn't about grabbing a snack or something like that. It's about pulling out these hardcore moments and pains and wins that you previously had. Using those as a mental boost, as a reminder to say, hey, I've been here before. I've done that. I'm going to do that again.
I get going, I sit down at mile 70, and I'm in the worst shape of my entire life. I end up going back through my cookie jar, and my cookie jar is basically something I invented about. We forget how badass we are when we're suffering, because our mind just stays right there in suffering. The cookie jar is a reminder. You know how your mom used to have the cookie jar, you don't know what kind of cookie you're gonna get. So my cookie jars, the things I've accomplished, failed at, didn't fail at, just kept on grinding through.
So rule number 4, the cookie jar. Rule number 5, the 40% rule. This one is all about unlocking your potential. So Goggins believes that when your mind is telling you that you're done, you're only 40% done. It's like running on a treadmill and getting to a point where you feel like you're exhausted and you cannot go on, and your mind tells you that you need to stop, but then you need to be aware of that and understand that it's just the mind that wants to get comfortable again, and it doesn't want your body to hurt, so it tells you to stop. But when you're aware of it, you understand that you have 60% more to give of yourself.
And it's that most people quit at 40%.
That's it. That's my 40% rule, man.
I love that quote.
That's my 40% rule, man. And I really developed that through my heart surgeries, and I developed that through that first 100-mile run, is I thought I had given 100%. I wasn't even near 100%. It's like a car. You put a governor on a car, and let's say the car can go 130. That governor stops the car at 91. We do that to our brain. We put a governor on our brain. The second we feel pain, discomfort, suffering, all those words that we hate to say because we have this happy, peaceful world we live in now, we stop. We slow down. And if you can get through these different barriers and gain 5%, 2%, that 40% becomes 60. That 60% becomes 70 and 80 and 90. And then you'll hopefully one day near 100.
So rule number 5, the 40% rule. So there you have it, Goggins' story and his top 5 rules from it. Remember that it's not only about physical tasks. For everything you do, you're going to face challenges and hardships. You can use all of these rules combined to help you get through them and own them. Thank you for joining me in this journey into Goggins' life. Remember that no matter how hard it gets, you always have more in you. If you enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe the video, and I would appreciate any comment from you. Thanks.